What's happening, good people? Welcome to Wes's Watch Room. So in this one we're going to be taking a look at the Seiko 5 SNX S73. This is the watch that started it all for me. This is the one that pushed me down the rabbit hole, and 2 channels later and years later, yeah, I'm still nowhere near close to being out. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about, the history of what I could find about this watch, some things I like about it, some cool stuff, the features which I'll, inspect and I'll pop on screen. And yeah, I'm just going to be talking why I think this is, a good watch, why I like it so much, and why I think it's, a good one to get you started in watch collecting. Now, many people, have compared these to, like what is it, Rolex Oyster Perpetual, is it, or something like that? I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, people compare these to Rolex, and obviously, yeah, I mean, there's no comparison really, is there, when you actually think about it? But then again, a Rolex is, considerably more expensive and kind of unobtainable, whereas these, not so much. But anyway, we're not even going to, throw in comparisons there, because, it's not even in the same ballpark, but it's still a cracking watch to get you started with. So brief history on these from what I could find. This particular watch was actually released 2010, 2011. A few different colour variations as well, I believe. There's this silver dial, there's a black dial, and I think there's another one as well, I'm not entirely sure. But this is my favourite though, the silver dial. I just think it's such a nice looking silver. So yeah, history wise, can't really find a deal. 2010, 2011, yeah. Anyway, I know there is a way to really find out exactly when this was made by using that Seiko date finder. I haven't done that yet, which I probably should have. And so what I'll do is I'll do this and pop it on screen if I can find out the exact date this one was made. But as for the Seiko 5, this model, it was released back then. So let's talk about what's cool in specifications. I think what makes this such a cool watch is, well, one, the affordability and the availability. These are quite an inexpensive watch, and that is what's makes Seiko 5s so great. These Seiko 5s, by the way, not the new Seiko 5s, because I think they've basically took the 5 pillars that these were founded on and thrown them in the bin. They've completely abandoned the Seiko 5 key attributes, that every Seiko 5 should have. So Seiko have thrown their own rulebook out the window. In some cases that's not a bad thing, but I think when you think Seiko 5, this is the type of watch that you think of. You don't think about those new ones, especially if you're an enthusiast that's been in the into watches a long time. Newer enthusiasts obviously might not be as aware of these watches as someone who's been an enthusiast for a long time. So when we think Seiko 5, this is what we think, not the new ones. But anyway, so if you don't know what the 5 pillars of Seiko 5 are, I'll pop them on screen. 1, automatic. 2, a day-date complication. 3, adequate water resistance. A 4 o'clock crown is the next one. And the final one is a durable case and bracelet. So does this tick all those boxes? Well, do you know what? It does. For one, it's an automatic. It's using the 7S, oh God, is it 2.6 or 2.6 or 3.6? 2.6, which is the same movement you'll find in the Seiko SKX. It also has a day-date complication. Not my favourite, but it's got one. It also has water resistance. I believe the water resistance of this one is, let me just have a butcher's, just says water resistance, so I'm presuming it's probably 30 meters. So technically it's got water resistance, even though I would not put this thing anywhere near water. We've got that 4 o'clock crown, so it ticks that box. And durable, I would say, they're reasonably well made in that regard. You probably notice though that this is not the stock strap, and it actually comes on a bracelet. But if you know your Seiko 5s at this price, and you've had a Seiko 5 at this price, you'll know the bracelet is absolute trash. And it is ridiculously comfortable, but still terrible. Especially if you've got hairy arms. You're going to end up with a bald patch where you wear the watch, because it literally just pulls all your hairs out. But anyway, I put mine on this, this nice brown leather strap, and it's way better for it. But is this actually durable? Well, you know what? It's a stainless steel case. Got that exhibition case back, so you can see the 7S movement inside. High polish throughout, which is not the most durable, let's be honest. Brushing would definitely add to the durability factor. But I don't think they mean so much that. I think they mean the durability of the actual construction. And you know what? Not wrong with it, really. It's a nice and solid feeling watch. Issues though. Issues with this watch. I think the main one for me is the in use. Now, with it being an automatic, you have to use the crown quite often. But if you can see the crown, just there, it's tiny. I mean, I don't have the biggest of hands or the biggest of fingers, and I struggle to use this crown. I mean, if you pop it out, you have to get your fingernail behind it. You can just see. That's what you've got to play with. It's thing, yeah. For time, it's not too bad, because you can just sort of use your fingertip to roll it. But when you sort of press it in, you have to just give it a really gentle press, and then it goes too far in. You have to get it out again, and it's not the easiest to use, let's just say. I mean, aesthetics standpoint, it looks great because it's sort of hidden, but from a usability standpoint, it's a nightmare. But I can forgive it, and the reason I can forgive it is it's such a nice little watch, especially that dial. That is one of the key things that drew me to this watch, is just the dial. The sunburst is so radiant and so nice. Again, it's so hard to do these dials justice on camera. They are so much nicer in person. And I also love the, the high polished accents on the dial. We've got that really nice border around the date window, all the applied indices, and the lume as well. Ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. One of my best lume watches, and it's sort of a dressy watch every day. So it's not even a diver pilot's watch that needs good lume. It's just got ridiculously good lume, which is quite a surprise for the price point. Is this, a perfect watch? No. Is there better watches out there? Well, yeah, of course there is. If you're willing to spend more money. Obviously now these days, Chinese watches are making a big thing, offering really great watches at affordable prices. But if you want a watch from a brand that has history, heritage, and is not going anywhere anytime soon. Like a lot of these Chinese brands, they might be around for a while, but when you think of actual, longevity, Seiko have been, in the business for, God, when they, like, late 1800s, I think they were first founded, like 1888, 1899, I believe, and I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. So that history, that heritage for this price, can you really argue? Again, better watches. Of course there's better watches out there. Of course there is. But again, you're going to be either paying a premium if you're buying from a different brand, or, you're not going to be getting that historical importance, that heritage, and the history, and of course all the innovation that Seiko brings as well. I mean, if you come to think of it, why do you think so many companies copy Seiko? I mean, is there any wonder? Anyway, yeah, Seiko do have their faults as well, which I'm going to be covering in another video, which is going to get quite controversial. But as for this, great watch to start your collection with. It's versatile, so you can dress it up, or you can dress it a little bit down. And it even looks great on a NATO strap as well. I don't have a NATO at this size to put it on to show you, but if you just look on, look on Google, one of these on a NATO, it looks so nice. And because it's got a silver dial, ridiculously versatile as well. So it's one of those watches that you can put on with a shirt and it'll look smart. It's one of them ones you can wear with a t-shirt and jeans and it'll look casual. And there's not many affordable watches that pull it off quite like this. And I think that is probably one of the key things that makes this watch so good to start your collection with. The versatility. It's such a versatile little watch that you can, wear for any occasion. I mean, you could wear this, to a more formal occasion, even with a suit, and it wouldn't look out of place. And again, Not many watches, especially at this price point, can pull that off so well. So do you agree with me, or do you think I'm talking utter nonsense? If you want to see more content on the channel, click the links you can see right now. Like the video if you enjoyed it, hit that bell so you don't miss any future content, and of course feel free to subscribe if you want to stay in touch with the channel. Thanks very much. Have a good one.